Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here. Welcome to my review for the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Ninja Black Ranger, the next one in the series of figures based off of the Ninja Ranger forms, which are a power-up from Series 3, or Season 3, excuse me, as well as the Power Rangers movie, as it comes with options for all of it. So let's go ahead and go over the basics first. Two alternate heads. You have this one here that represents sort of the transition in the morph, as well as the masked version from the movie, and then this little piece that's going to go underneath it when you place it on there. This piece here as well, which is honestly, if I remember right, primarily seen in the movie. I think it was in the morph sequence from Season 3, but it was primarily in the movie when they were walking around. It looks like decent-ish like Adam. Like, it kind of looks like royalty-free Adam, to be honest. You got your couple of different hands on him right now. I have one of the martial arts hands and a closed fist, and then this is the other closed fist and sort of a slapping martial arts open hand. You have a effect part here, which is pretty much the same one that came with the White Rangers. I kind of wish there was something a little bit more unique, but whatever. More basics, your standard articulation. You have your nice ball joint right here, all around movement, swiveling, elbow joint here, swiveling at the fist, ball joint at the leg, swiveling at the leg, double knee joint here. You got the nice little hinge joint here on the foot. You do have the waist articulation here, but you do not have the same type of chest articulation as usual because of this being a solid piece, which I actually kind of prefer because then it doesn't interrupt the design. And then you have the nice head and neck ball joint articulation, same as all the others. Obviously right now it's a smidge hindered just because of this piece here, kind of creates this thing where the neck articulation isn't as prominent. It's all around the same though. And thankfully no loose joint problems or anything with this. Something to address at the beginning of this is something I will also probably address in all the figure reviews for these, is that these have become kind of notorious for having some QC issues right out the box. Some of them coming with broken feet. I think there was some that were pictured like on the shelves and stuff, or that people got that didn't include some of the heads. So just watch out for that. That's definitely an issue you can run into. Setting that aside, honestly, I really dig these figures personally. I think the only thing that really bothers me about them, outside of the obvious problems I just mentioned that you could encounter, is just this bit here in the arm where it bends. You do have this sort of like really noticeable gap. It's not like necessarily a deal breaker or anything, but I think it's the only thing that interrupts the design. It is kind of a hard design to do because it's like so much cloth going on, and then you have to have like the joints and stuff. And even with the regular Ranger figures, you're always going to have aspects where you really notice the joints. It's just, I think this is definitely one of the more noticeable things, and I wish they could have done something better with it. Again, not a deal breaker for me personally. The only other time I really notice it is like obviously with the knees and stuff when you bend them, but this bit here, obviously when you turn the leg for the rotation, like it'll put this out of sync and look strange. Not necessarily a huge deal. I've honestly seen worse. Like if you only have it going a little bit, it still syncs up nicely enough where you don't notice it, but I've had ones in the past from other figure lines that it's like really noticeable when you do it, but it's definitely something you notice there. But again, setting those small things aside, and again, setting aside the QC issues, I'm not excusing those. I definitely think that's something that needs to be addressed with these in particular. But if you are able to get, like this one, a figure that is fine, everything comes with it, no broken parts, and everything looks good. Outside of my little complaints, just like with the White Ranger, I personally really dig these figures. I was always a big fan of this mode in the show, especially the fully masked mode from Season 3. It's something we've never gotten figures of, so despite the fact that we have MMPR fatigue a bit sometimes, I was actually kind of excited for these because it's something we never really got before, and I really like having them, and outside of this bit here, I think it looks pretty damn awesome. I also really like that you have all the alternate heads for the different options if you want to represent the show or the movie and whatnot. Now we do have one quick comparison to the only other release. Before we do that, I'm going to switch out the head. Just the only other option you really have for this figure is this, the old original movies release. I think I mentioned this in White Ranger's review as well, but I think there was some minifigures, but this is really the only other option. So obviously, small problems aside, this is the superior pick. So if you're looking for a figure of the Ninja Ranger modes, definitely go with these over these. And these are very different, much like all the old retro figures. And actually, they're not as bad as I thought they were. Like, the little human head sculpts in them aren't the most accurate or even as accurate as these, but they're actually not as bad as I thought. And to a degree, they actually kind of hold up. But their main thing was kind of to be gimmick figures. Like, he does this weird little, I don't know what this is meant to be, this gimmick here, this punching. It's like, what is this? Like, speed walking? Like, what are you doing? My opinion on this figure is honestly pretty much the same as the White Ranger figure. I'm personally a fan of these because I really like the molds. My personal complaints about them are very minimal, and I could still recommend them if you can get the right one, you know, that's not messed up. So just be aware of that. There are some major issues with some of them that are being distributed, so just keep an eye out for that. But I can say if you get one that is not messed up, I actually think it's a solid entry in the line. That's about it for this one though, guys. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Dawson Rider, signing out.